Are you afraid of the future? As a front-end developer, there are so many AI tools these days creating UIs in just minutes. It makes you wonder, will AI replace you? Will you lose your job? The answer is no. These tools are impressive, sure, but they are nowhere near the level of an awards-winning website. Yes, that's exactly what we are building today. This is a brand new awards level course you have been waiting for. In this video, we will build an actual award site of the day completely from scratch. No templates, no shortcut. Just clean detailed code, explained step by step. And here's a quick peek at what we are about to build together. We will start with a bold headline reveal animation that every awards-winning website use. Later, we will learn scroll power highlights, layer parallax, cinematic transitions, and a next-level testimonial section with pinning, staggering, and horizontal scrolling. Everything in this project, from scroll sync to parallax to the cinematic transitions, is only built by GSAP. And in this course, I will walk you through every single line of code. You will learn real skills, writing clean, reusable code, and how to animate like a pro with GSAP. We will highlight GSAP coolest features and how to leverage them for award-winning animations. By the end of this video, you won't know just how to use GSAP, you will know how to build an awards level website. By the way, better than most developers out there. Please quick shout out to Speed, the site that inspired this build. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check their products out. I have also prepared a complete Figma design so you can follow along or rebuild it on your own. Of course, all of these are completely free. The links are down there in the description. What are you waiting for? So let's build a future. If you are as excited as I'm about bringing these award-winning animations to life, here's what I need from you. Hit that like button, subscribe for more insane builds, and please drop a comment telling me what you want to build next. Alright, let's get building. Alright, step number 1. Let's get our project up and running using Vue and React. Super fast setup, and we will be coding in seconds. Open your terminal, cd/desktop, and type npm create Vue at latest to install the Vue. You can name it anything, but I'm calling mine GSAP Awards. Okay, choose React framework and JavaScript. Now, cd into the project and install our dependency. Once it's done, let's open the folder in your code editor. I'm using VS Code here. Open your terminal, type npm run dev. We have got our local dev server app and running. Now that we have got our project running, let's clean out the boilerplate code Vue gives us. We want a clean structure so we can focus on what matters. Animations in our case. First, delete the asset folder. We won't need that React SVG. Also delete app.css since we are going to write our own custom styles. Open our app.jsx, remove everything, and type refce. So we have already simplified our app.jsx, and let's go to our index.css and remove everything for now. Let's also set up the folders we will be using. This will help keep things clean as our layout grows. So go to our SRC folder and create a new folder called components. Next folder would be sessions folder for different sections, and the final folder would be constants folder, where our static data will stay here. Also, in our public folder, you can download the public folder from our GitHub repository. Also, don't forget to give stars. Okay, but I already have my public folder, so let me put here There are different folders for fonts, images, and videos in our public folder. This is where we store static assets like background videos or typography files. Awesome. Now we've got a clean React Read setup with a file structure ready for real development. Next, we will install TailwindCss and some essential dependency we will use throughout the build. Let's start by installing TailwindCss and its official Read plugin. This is a TailwindCss official website, and you can click Get Started. We are using Read, so let's copy this code. Go to our terminal, open a new terminal, paste it. Perfect. Let's go back to the website. The next step is you have to add the TailwindCss Read plugin to our Read configuration. So copy this, go to our readconfig.js and paste the TailwindCss plugin. And you also have to add in here. So after React, we will have TailwindCss. This replaces the old CSS setup. It's cleaner and Read native. Okay, so the next step is import TailwindCss. Copy this import TailwindCss in our index.css, add it here. Perfect. So let's quickly test our TailwindCss is working or not. Go to our app.jsx and give a border red 500, and let's get a bigger font size. Okay, go to our browser and everything is working. If you see this one, TailwindCss is set up and working perfectly. So let's go to our index.css file back. So for the more CSS file and installing fonts and much more, you have to take our index.css file from the GitHub repository or from our README snippet. Okay, so let me paste it here. Perfect. It's a really simple CSS, and you can also do it. These are some basic, but let me explain what is happening in our setup. Okay, so we are importing the Antonio font from Google Fonts here. This will be our main display font. Below that, we are importing Tailwind itself. This gives us access to all the utility classes Tailwind provides, and a custom font face. So this is a Proxima, Navbar, and sans serif for our paragraph font. So we load our custom font from the public fonts folder, and we will use this as our paragraph font throughout the site. Then variable using theme. This theme block is where I define all the custom colors and fonts we will use across the site. Instead of hard-coding hex values everywhere, we can now use semantic names like text mic or text yellow or border mic or border yellow or font sans. It keeps the design system clean and consistent. And there are some base styles for HTML and body. These are global base styles, a CSS reset, margin 0, parent 0, and a default font family, and we remove all default spacing, set a background color, base font, and hide the scroll bar for clean visuals. There are custom utility classes using Tailwind utility feature. Instead of repeating flash justifying center, item center 20 times, I just use flash-center. So this is my way. You will notice I also created semantic utilities like general title, absolute center, something like that. These are really useful and easy to use. Now, this is where things get powerful. In the layer components block, I define actual section structures like hero container, flavor section, footer section, and more. Each one contains nested elements like hero title or hero button with reusable Tailwind utilities back in. These are also clean to organize. You see? Something like this. Everything is in each their own section. So there is no complex and complicated CSS anymore. This approach gives us the best of both worlds, utility-first CSS and semantic class structure. And finally, Here's a basic CSS animation for rotating an element infinitely. Okay, so instead of stuffing all over TailwindCss classes directly in GSAs, we are organizing things in a way that's easy to reuse, update, and understand. This structure will save you so much time as the site grows. Now that the CSS is ready, let's move on to installing our animation engine, GSAP. Okay, so now time for GSAP. And it is really exciting news because GSAP is now free for everyone thanks to Webflow support. So we can now use all the GSAP paid plugins. It's really exciting and amazing for all the front-end developers. Okay, let's go back to our project. Open your terminal, clean everything, npm install GSAP and add GSAP React. The last one is React Responsive. We are installing GSAP, which powers all our scroll animations and timeline choreography. Then GSAP React, which gives us easy hooks like use GSAP that work great in functional components React. Believe me, this is a really lifesaver for the React user. And finally, we will add React Responsive. This will help us write clean and responsive conditions in our GSA. Super useful for custom breakpoints or layout shift that cannot be possible only by CSS. So all of the installation and setup is finished. Let's quickly jump into the coding. The first component would be the Navbar component. Let's create our Navbar component inside the components folder. Assoc component folder, and the first file would be navbar.gsx. Type refce, and we will get our navbar. Yes, so in our app.gsx, remove everything and type main, and let's import our navbar here. Let's go back to our browser, and here you can see with the help of our default CSS background and the default font family, we already get things differently. Okay, this is our navbar. Let's create a simple navbar component fixed to the top of the screen so it stays visible while scrolling. Go to our navbar component, remove everything, and write nav tag. Inside this nav, there will be only one element, which is called image. Okay, so you can see in the public folder, in the images folder, we have our nav logo svg. You can also copy like this and paste it here, remove public. This is for nav logo. Let's go back to our browser, and we have got our logo. Okay, let's give some styling. We will get fixed and top 0, left 0, set index into the 50 to make sure it stays above everything else. Then we give it responsive padding 9, but for mobile it is only padding 3. Let's also give some styling to our images, just for only size. For the median and above, it will be around width 24, but for the mobile, it will be around width 20. Perfect. So that's our minimal clean navbar component. Pretty easy. We don't do anything crazy things in here. But let's remove React. Perfect. And this is our navbar. So the next exciting thing is our hero section. Let's create our hero section component inside the SRC sessions folder. Go to our section folder and create hero section.gsx file. Type refce, and we got our hero section component. Remove React import because we won't need it. Okay, remove everything and write section tag. Okay, let's start our hero section component, and then we will give some classes, which is called bg main bg, we will get a black color. Inside our section, we will have a complete parent container for everything that will be included in the hero section, such as hero titles and clip art animations, a CTA button, and so on. So let's create and give the class name to hero container that we have already defined in our CSS file. Let's go back to our app.jsx and import hero section to see what is happening in our browser. Okay, so let's go back to our project, and yeah, nothing's crazy happened because we have not added any content yet. So the first thing that we will be at, before everything else, let's quickly check what is hero container in our index.css. Okay, just simple. We give a position relative, we give some background and with height and overflow hidden. That's it. So let's go back to our hero section. Let's quickly add our image. I don't want to type, so let me find which image that we will be use. It is a hero image png, so copy it and paste it here. Of course, remove public, and if you want to give, you can give, and class name should be, I don't want to give a predefined class name in here because I want to show you guys what is happening in a really detail. Okay, so let's give a position absolute, and bottom 0, left is half, and minus translate x is half. This is the way we center the things that has a position absolute, and object is auto. Okay, and then we will have our scale is 100, but in the tablet we will have the scale 150, a little bit bigger than its normal size, to give it more visual impact. We are keeping this simple for now, just an image. We will replace this with a video later when we add scroll animations. Let's go to our, yes, and we have this. Okay, cool. Now let's add the content container below our image. Create another div. Give a class to hero content. Everything inside here, the headline, text, button, we will make a reveal animation that almost every award-winning website use in the later. Okay, inside our hero content, let's give another div that will have overflow hidden. Inside it, there is our main headline. Freaking delicious. And let's give the class name to hero title. So we wrap the headline in an overflow hidden div. This is really important because we are going to animate it with SplitText later. Okay, and the hero title class is already styled in our CSS. Let's quickly through what does it mean. So this is a hero title. We already applied the text color and some responsive font size and font bold, uppercase, and line height, letter spacing, and some margin. Okay, these are really basic stuff you guys can also do. So I won't go through really deeply. Let's go back to our hero section.jsx and let's check what is happening on our website. It's freaking delicious, and the font is really cool. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is one of the most important features that website has, and I took a time to create this effect. Let's write div, and class name is hero task scroll. This part is for our reveal task animation. We will apply a clip path. Okay, so let's give some style, and we will have clip path. But here we won't do copy paste from somewhere without understanding. We will go through what is clip path and how you can easily copy the code with understanding. Okay, So let's go to the Clippy website. This one, CSS clipart maker. Here, there are so many default clipart points that you can already use, but in our case, we will have this one. Let's completely do this everything. Okay, so this is a full point that will take a shape of a full scroll, and we want to affect something like this. Okay, so currently right now everything is all the full points are here. All the full points are exactly at the center of everything. Okay, I'm not currently right now, I don't got the center, but you got the idea. And we will do the reveal animation. These two points go like this, and these 2 points will go like this. This is kind of reveal animation. You can take a look at this point. Okay, so if you want to take this point into the half of the scroll, you have to change this one. Not 48, it is 50%. And if you want to take this point into the center, you have to change this point. And if you want to change, you have to change this point. And if you want to change, you have to change this point. Right, so we got something like this: 490, 480, 4600, and 4500. In our cases, it should be 50, because right now it is not too accurate. I'm not too accurate to place a dot that exactly center point. So the center point is 50%, of course. So we want the reveal animation that start from the center into the sides. So we will get our clipart value 50, 0, 50, 0, 50, 100, 50, 100. That's it. That's the power of clipart. You don't have to memorize it, and you don't have to copy anymore without understanding in the near future. Okay. So right now, let's copy this one. Yeah. You only have to copy this one. Let's paste it in here. Instead of 49, we will have 50. This is also 50. 50. So currently, our clipart points are all in the center, so we cannot see the inside element at all. This is the secret sauce that every awards-winning website use. Okay, so let's add an h1 tag and div tag in our clipart container, and there will be an h1 which is called protein plus cuffing. Perfect. And let's give hero subtitle and go back to our website. You won't see anything. Yes, anything at all because of our clipart value. Let's close it. Here we go. This is the exact same feature that's built website use. Okay, so let me go through our index.css file to see what is happening. Hero task row. Here, we rotate a little bit, and let's give a little bit margin bottom. This is a border and border color to get this effect. Okay, hero subtitle is literally simple. Let's give a background for it. Inside this h1, most of it are responsive font size and font bold, text color, uppercase, and some predefined like letter spacing, line height, padding, yeah, different padding setting for the responsive. Okay, so let's go back to our hero section, and if you comment it, you won't see it. But let me tweak some of value in here. Let's go to our Clippy website, and you can do like this. Not this one, this point, please. So it would be around like 0, 0, right? Not 50%, 50% is 0, 0. So let's quickly take 0 in here instead of 50%. Let's see the exact same visual that we got our Clippy website. Okay, so currently right now 50%, 50%, and these two are 0. And we got the first half of the image. It is the same. We got the first half of the h1 text. And if you do something like this, so it is 100% at the last value, right? Okay, so let's give 100% and take a look. We got the same visual here. Okay, so I think you are now pretty understand how you can use clipart value in your project on your own. Perfect. Let's go back to our original value, and later we will animate this with GSAP to reveal from the center outward. Perfect. So we will have our last element, the subtitle and call to action button. After this div, we will include the h2. This is a subtitle, nothing crazy happening. So you can copy from our Figma file and paste it here. Perfect. Let's go to our project, and here you can see there is a text, there is a subtitle. So after that, we will give a CTA button for it. The class name is hero button. There will be a p tag and check a split. Let's check it out. That's it. This is a check a split. Now we add a short marketing subtitle. And although it is not animated for now, but we will animate it later with our GSAP. And finally, the call to action button will be here. Okay, instead of this image, let's use another one, which is called, I think, static image.png. Rename, copy, and here, let's replace it. Okay, and later on we will replace with a video, but for now, I think this distracted image is not anymore. Great. All right, we have already learned what we need. So let's go back to our project and let's start to animate our title. Here we will use GSAP. What is use GSAP? Use GSAP is a custom React hook that makes it easy to run GSAP animations when a component mounts. Before use GSAP, we have to manually clean with GSAP context by using use effort. You have to clean manually. You have to revert the tween manually. Manually stuff much going on, and it is really messy. But after the use GSAP hook, it is much simpler and easier than before. So it is a lifesaver for us. Our all GSAP animation will be coded here. So this means as soon as this component is ready, run these animations. It's part of the GSAP React plugin, which is optimized for working with React. It makes sure your animations run smoothly and don't break React's visual DOM. Think of it like use effort, but designed specifically for the GSAP lifecycle. Okay, so let's start to animate it. Let's take a look what our final animation would be. So, okay, we will start to animate this freaking delicious text. Constant title split equal to split text from the GSAP or dot create. The target is our hero title, this one, and type. We have to do the vars object and type is chars. So that is a characters. If we want to animate words, instead of chars, we can do words, something like that. Okay, I will explain more. Here, what is SplitText? SplitText is a plugin from GSAP that lets you take any block of text and break it down into smaller parts, like words, lines, or individual characters. This is super useful for creating dynamic, detailed text animation. For example, instead of animating an entire paragraph at once, you can animate each word separately or make each letters appear one by one for a dynamic cinematic effect. Something in our website like that. Okay? So let's go back to our project and continue on our animation. Next, create a GSAP timeline for the initial load animations. We will add a slight delay for dramatic effect. Okay, so for 1 second, then we will use our timeline. Dot to, the first thing we will animate is our hero content, a whole container. This whole container, our title, clip art, subtitle, and a CTA button, all included container. So this is a vast object. The animation instruction that I want to give is opacity 1, so fading the content, and split side up y equal to 0 to its final position. For the easing, let me give power 1 dot in out, so that means smooth in and out motion. Perfect. Let's see our animation. GSAP is not defined, sorry, so let's import our GSAP from the GSAP library. Perfect. Remove everything, and here our wine is walking, but to walk opacity 1, this is a to animation, not from animation, so we have to define our initial start. Okay, so in the hero content, let's give opacity 0, and we got exactly what we want. Perfect. Next, we will reveal the text block with a clip art animation. Let's see our original website and reload. This makes it look like the text is sliding open from the center, right? We want to get this reveal task block clip art animation. Okay, so it looks like the task scroll is sliding open from the center, right? So let's go back to our project. Write another two string. Our target would be hero text scroll. For the vast object, this time I want to make the duration 1. The default is 0.5, but this time the duration is a little bit longer than the default. Okay, the animation value, that clip art value, let's copy from the Clippy website. Go to the Clippy, and this is our final position. Copy the value and paste it here. But be careful, there is no % in the 0 value in here, so let's give % in this. Okay, the last one is easing. For this one, I want to use a suck out, so it kind of looked like a pop. Perfect. And let's go back to our see what is happening. Yes, perfect. So this animation is come from the center to the different edges, like a reveal. Okay, like a reveal animation. Let's refresh it one more time. Yes, but right now the animation is happening one after another, right? First one is apt, and the second one is reveal. I want to make sure this reveal animation happens a little bit earlier than the original sequence. So let's use position parameter in our second two twin, about around minus equal 0.5. The theory is this one lasts for 0.5 second because we do not define a duration in here, right? So the default duration is 0.5. So this one let's allow for 0.5. Our animations happen after that 0.5, but this overlap animation slightly with the previous one for a smooth flow. So it's kind of these two start at the same point. Let's see what I am talking about. Refresh it. Yes, you know, up and open happens at the same time. Perfect. I love it. Okay, finally, we will animate each character of that hero title. They will rise up from below for a powerful premium feel. These kind of animation every almost Awwwards website use, and how easy it is I will show you guys. So let's go back to our project again, remove the semicolon, but this time instead of .to we will use .from because it will go from below, right? For the target we will use our title split, and we will use chars, not words, not lines. We want to animate each character. So this is a chart. For the vase object, I want to do y percent 200. So each letter starts 200% below its final spot. And we will use some stagger value. It's only for 0.02. So it is a quick stagger between each letter for making kind of a wave effect. And okay, we will do the ease for the power to dot out. So for the easing, they are not strictly restricted. You can use any ease you like. Okay, let's go back to our project and see what these freaking delicious will be. It's so cool, right? If you do not make this stagger, you can see. Boom. So everything goes up at the same time. But if we give stagger, we give each letter animation a little bit time difference. So something like this. Okay, so this is a really quick stagger. How about I want to give 0.5 seconds to each letter. F, R, E, A, K, something like this. Okay, so for our case, we have to get a quickly stagger. Perfect. As also, I want to get an overlapping animation to get a much like seamless look. Doom, doom. Yes. So this will happen after this finish. Okay. Perfect. Now we can already say that our hero animation is finished. Let's go to our original website and see. Yes, instead of a video, all of the animation is finished. When we scroll this container, you can see this container a little bit rotate, and I think it will be a little bit scale down. So yes, this will be our next target. Now, let's add that rotation and scale effect as the user scroll. Create a new timeline for it. Constant hero TL. TL stands for timeline. GSAP.timeline. Here, in our vase object, I want to make magic happen. Okay, so this depends on our scroll, right? This depends on the user scroll. That means we have to use GSAP another magic plugin, which is called scroll trigger. What is scroll trigger? Scroll trigger is a GSAP plugin that connects animation to your scroll position. Instead of animation just playing when the page loads, so scroll trigger lets you start an animation when a starting element enters the viewport. Or ping an element so easy it stays fixed during scroll. And tie animation progress directly to the scroll position like scrapping. It makes user control animations just by scrolling. Okay? That is scroll trigger. And this is really one of the most important plugins that GSAP offers. Let's go back to our code and write scroll trigger. The trigger thing is dot hero container. I want to include everything in our hero section. So this will be the hero container. We are trying to make that rotation effect for the whole container itself, and we will give start position around 1% in top. What does it mean? It means start right when the top of the hero container hits at the top of the viewport. Okay, to see this one, we can do like this. Markers true. Let's see. Okay, nothing happened. That means we forgot a really important step, which is To use this scroll trigger plugin, we have to register. Okay, so go to our app.gsa and type GSAP.register plugin. Inside it, we will have our scroll trigger from GSAP. Perfect. We have to do only once. Whenever we register plugin in our project, just only once. Okay, that means we can use scroll trigger in everywhere inside our project. Perfect. Go back to our hero section and make sure it is marker is true, and let's go to our project again and refresh it. GSAP is not defined. Sorry, why GSAP is not defined? In our app.gsa, GSAP is not defined. Sorry guys. Remove React. I think now it will works perfectly. Yes, this what we want. Now we set the markers true and the start position is 1% and top. Let me show you what is happening. This top is mark the viewport, but this is our 1%. 1% from the top of the hero container. How about 10%? Refresh. So 10% from the top of our hero container. Okay, this only for the viewport. So scroll start top means here. How about change to the center? Refresh it. It will go to here. Viewport 50% from the viewport topped. Okay, how about like 80% for the first one? That means 80% from the top of our hero container. Hero container is a viewport high 100 dvh height, right? So it starts from here. This also starts from here, but this one is for our hero container and this one is for the viewport. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the 1% and top. Let's define our end value. Bottom VOTT OM and top OM and top. That means the whole animation will end when this end value hit this scroller end. Okay, so this one will hit this top and then the whole animation will be end. Let's give another one. Scrap to true. This ties the animation directly to the scroll position. Okay, we don't have to calculate the scroll position manually. Just give scrap equal to true and this whole animation will be synced to the scroll position. To see this one now, our website is only has 100 dvh. We cannot scroll, so let's give a fake space. Okay, so after the hero section, do one div, class name h-dvh. Give some border, red 500. Here we have our extra space and then we can make scroll. Some hero tail animation. Inside the timeline, we will rotate and scale the hero container. So it is a 2 animation. The target is hero container and in the vase object, subtle rotate to add depth around 7 and slightly shrink for a dynamic pulling effect. Also sliding down a little bit to add movement. Finally, smooth motion for the in and out effect. Let's go reload this, and now there is no rotation happening, but when this start value hits the scroll, do you see that? We got it. We got the rotation and scale a little bit down effect. And when you hit that end, there is no more animation happening. So this is the ending for our animation. And we don't have to make sure like, okay, rotate this person in around this scroll position, rotate this person around in this scroll position. We don't have to do that because of our scrap equal to true. So as you can see, Scroll Trigger is one of the most powerful tools in GSAP for making modern interactive web experiences. Don't worry, it's just only overflow hidden, so the main focus is our animations in here. Perfect. The hero animation is complete. Let's also remove our markers. And next one, we will do this highlight picture. Okay, so let's go to the second session. We are gonna create this scroll scene highlight text feature. Also, this paragraph reveal animation. In our project, go to the SRC and session folder. Here, we will create message session.gsx, type refce, go to our app.gsx. Before our fake div, we will add our message session in here. Okay, you can already see this is our message session. Let's remove everything and replace with section. This is the main section that wraps everything. We will animate text inside this section based on the scroll position. Here, our class name is message contact. Let's take this and go to in the CSS, see what is happening in our message content. As usual, we will give some background color, some text color, and minimal height is 100 dpi, overflow everything mixed to show center and position relative. Make sure that Z index is 20 so that our message content layer is above on the hero content layer. Great, let's see. You can see this is above this, so we don't see any ugly extra space anymore. So inside this section, we will have a div. Let's give a container from TailwindCss and MX Auto to set the center. Inside everything is center, so flat center, and let's give some padding and position is relative. Flat center is a custom utility to center everything inside. We have already defined like this, right? So we don't have to write flat, just define center, item center. In here, just flat center, and we already make center. Inside this, we will have with full height full. It holds the entire message block. So this is MSG rubber. Inside it, we will have our H1 tag. Let's copy stir up your fearless past. You can also copy from our Figma file. And let's give a class name, which is called fast message. After that, we will have our clipart div. This is the message text scroll. It is the same as our hero text scroll, so nothing crazy happening here. And this div will reveal as you scroll using GSAP clipart animation as we have done before for our hero part. Let's give some styling to it. Nothing crazy, it's just only BG light brown and responsive padding. Mobile is for both. The last one is our H2 tag, which is called your app. And let's also give test-reddish brown to our H2 tag. Perfect. So after this clipart value, let's go to the second headline. H1. The message is second MESSAGE, second message. Let's go copy from here and paste it in here. Thank you. So after everything, we will have our paragraph at the bottom, right? This div, next div is for the paragraph. To make sure everything is center, we will use /center and some responsive margin top. So for the mobile, it's just only margin 10. Inside this div, we will add a wrapper div for the p tag. Okay, it is maximum width is MD. Let's give some padding X and /dash center overflow hidden. This is our p tag. Copy from here and paste it. So let's check what is happening in our browser. Great, we got what we want. This is a first message, second message, the path value, and a descriptive paragraph at the bottom. You can also check in the index.css. This will be our message content related stuff. At first, we give background, and for the wrapper, we set a different font size. So responsive font size, font bold, uppercase, and some default letter spacing, line height setting to make sure everything is centered in the vertically, and some responsive gap. Okay, this is a first message color in font size. This is a second message color and the maximum width value. So this is a p tag. Everything center font paragraph is our Proxima Nova sans serif font. And for the H1, H2, I don't want to get the line height, so it's leading none. And for the MSG text scroll, we will rotate a little bit and we will move the text scroll a little bit down, but this is kind of responsive. Okay, for the mobile, we will make a little bit up. And of course, this is absolute and Z10, and let's give some border. So we got this look. All right, let's bring this message section to life with some GSAP magic. Before that, let me combine the screen. Right now, I'm going from this to this, so it's really not good. Okay, I think this one is much better because you can also see here and here. Perfect. All right, let's bring this message section to life with some GSAP magic. We are going to animate the headlines and paragraph as you scroll, creating a premium kinetic field. First, we are using use GSAP hook. That's our playground for all the animations. The first thing that we want to do is we want to use SplitText for splitting words. Okay, for our first message, second message, we want to split. Constant first message, you can also use like MSG split and split task from GSAP dot create. The target value is our first message, and the vast object, the hero session, we make characters, but here I want to animate the words. So it's WYDS words. We are splitting only by words here. Let's do the same approach for the second message split. It is second. Now for the paragraph at the bottom, it's a little bit different, but let's copy and paste. Give it a name, paragraph split. Okay, so there is only one P, so we can select like this, message content and P. So a P, all the P tag inside of this message content, but in our case there is only one P. So this is another way of our GSAP target. You can also do like this, but for the tag here, not only words, I also want to animate lines so that these are animated lines by lines. Okay, and we are adding a custom class for each line. This will help us target lines specifically in our CSS if we want. And the class name is paragraph-line. Let's take a look what paragraph line in our index.css. What does it work? It's text no wrap and overflow hidden. This means let's give a border. refresh everything. You can see it. This is line by line, and this is a paragraph line class for each line. Overflow hidden means everything will come out from here. Okay, let's start to animate. Here we are using the GSAP tool, fast message split words in color from the opacity 50% or around something like that to let's go to the message content. You can see, right, the original value is around 10%, but we want to do a full color, so let's copy this value and paste it here. So each word fixed to this light green color. For the easing, I want to give power1.in, and the stagger is around 1. The stagger means each word will animate 1 second after the previous one. Refresh it. I think GSAP is not defined. Yes, I'm right. Okay, so let's refresh it. You can see this is happening one by one, right? But we have to make the scroll trigger animation so that this animation will happen when the scroll is arrived. Let's add scroll trigger. Our trigger target is message content. We are triggering this animation when we scroll to the message content. Okay, this animation will happen when the message content is arrived or something like this. And then let's give some start value for it. It is topped and center. To see what is happening, let's give markers equal to true. Refresh it. So this is the top of the message content, and this is the center of the viewport. Okay, so let me refresh from here and see the animation is not happening yet, but when we hit that scroll status value, the animation happens one by one. Perfect. So because stagger is 1, right? But it is not scroll sync yet. To make sure the animation is scroll sync, let's give scrap to true. This makes the animation scrap along with the scroll position. Let me refresh here and hit the scroller start, and when you scroll, yes, you see, when you scroll up and down, you can control your highlight animation. But right now, it is not really great, right? Because we have already scrolled to the that session, but the animation is not finished yet because the original and the default scroll end is the end of the container. So the animation will finish when this end value will hit it. We have to define our end value. Let's give 30% from the top of the container and center at the viewport. Let's refresh it. You can see animations happen quickly because scroller end value is here. It starts from here. Because of scrapping value true, we got the scroll position, scroll sync animation, and one hit here, the animation is already finished. You see that? It is really easy. So let's go for the second animation. The second animation is also the same. Copy a whole thing and paste it. But instead of first message split, we will do the second message split. Everything is perfect, but instead of trigger value is message content, right now we will trigger second message. Let's see. Okay, remove this markers true because that animation is already finished in our case. Let's see. So if we trigger the message content, we will get the markers in here. But instead of it, we trigger the second message, so our marker start from here. The start point is the top of this second message container. For the viewport, it is the center. But right now, it is finished really super quickly, and I don't like it because it's kind of like flash or something. I want kind of a little bit slow and luxury vibe. So instead of giving a ending 30%, let's give a bottom center. Let's quickly refresh it. So it starts from the start of the message, second message container, and it will end the end of the second message container. Let's see. When you hit start value, you will get the animation happening, and when you hit end, you will get the animations end. Okay, perfect. Let's remove this marker value. Next, we are creating a reveal animation for this message task scroll element. So for this one, we will use a timeline to keep it organized. Let's use a reveal timeline using GSAP.timeline. And inside a vase object, we will set a delay 1 second. Of course, we will add a scroll trigger. Trigger target is .msg text scroll. Okay, dot. Don't you forget that dot. And starting value is top. Let's give top. Let's see markers true. Refresh here. So this is our message text scroll height, right? So at the top and at the bottom, this is the default, and we want to get this scroller start is at the top. Perfect. Now let's really add our reveal TL.2. The target is MSG. Let me copy. I don't want to type it. And the vase object inside is duration is 1. So this reveal will take 1 second. And as usual, we will animate our clipart value. Okay, this will be the final shape, fully visible. And let's add some psych in out. So this even give a little bit circular smooth transition. Okay, so we have to define our clipart value. Do you remember that we left empty in here? So style and give clipart. But before giving any value, so before copying any clipart value, let's go to our original website and see which direction animation is happening. You see, it's sliding from the left to the right. It's sliding from the left to the right. Our first one is sliding from the center. So it's revealing from the center to left, center to right, happening at the same time. But for this one, it's sliding from left to right. So let's go to our Clippy website. And of course, this will be our final value. So let's copy this final value in here. Don't forget to add % on it. But for the starting value, this time it doesn't start from the center. It needs to start from the left. This is a value that we have to get. Copy it, paste it here. Perfect. Let's see our project. So right now the scroller start is really far from here. I want to make animation happen around this, so not at this. Let's fix it. Instead of top position, we will add 60% from the top. Refresh it, and you can see not happen, but when we hit it, we got our animation. Okay, and perfect. Everything is good. We got a highlight scroll sync feature, and we got this clipart animation feature. So the last thing that we have to do in this message session is animate our paragraph. It is really easy, but let's create our paragraph timeline. GSAP top timeline. Inside it, of course, it will also happen due to the scroll position, so we have to add scroll trigger. Our trigger moment is this one, message content P. This is our trigger. Let's give some markers equal to true, and start is okay, and start is top center. So when we hit this one, and this will be in the center, scroller start value will be here. When we hit like that, this animation will happen. Okay, paragraph TL.2, we are doing kind of reveal animation. So from paragraph split dot words, and for the var object y% 300, each word starts 300 below its final position, plus rotate a little bit. So each word has a slight 3-degree rotation. For the easing, power1.inout. This easing is really smooth. I really love it. For all the duration is 1 second, and stagger value is 0.01, so it happens really quickly. Okay, let's save it and refresh it here. Okay, remove our reveal marker so that we only have one marker here. Perfect. And we got our reveal animation, and here you see, yeah, it's really great. When we hit, so each line in words are slightly rotate reveal animation. Perfect. Now, here's where I want to explain very much. That thing is fake horizontal scrolling. So instead of the usual up and down, we are faking that sideways motion with GSAP, scroll trigger pinning, and X-axis animations. It's fully smooth, so let's see it in the action. Close everything. Go to our section folder, create flavor section.gsa file. Type refce, remove readd import, and let's replace with the section tag. This section is the main wrapper for our flavor showcase. Let's give some class name, which is called flavor section. To see it in our browser, go to the app.gsa before a fake div, add flavor section and close it, and you can see this is our flavor section. Okay, go to the index.css. In the flavor section, CSS is pretty simple. Let's give a height 100 dph and background is make color. Great. Inside the section, we will have another div, and this will be the wrapper for everything, title and our fake horizontal scrolling section. Okay, let's give class name is h-full. The display is flash, but for the laptop devices and beyond, we will get +rule, so the direction is rule. But for the mobile devices and tablet devices, we will get +call. Item center in every device's position is relative. Inside this div, we are gonna have two divs. The first one is for the title, and the next one is for the slider section. Great. So for the title, it takes up to 57% on the large screen and flash-none so that it won't shrink or stretch in many devices. Let's give some fixed height, h-80, but for the large screens, we will get full height. Finally, we will add some responsive margin top value, MD, MT-20, and much larger screen, MT it's 0. Great. Inside it, we will have our title. But for the title, let's create a new component file, which is called flavor title.gsx. Type REFCE, remove import, readd, and add flavor title in here. You can see this is the flavor title component. Because this is a tablet screen size, our flex direction is colon. So the title will be here and the slider part will be here. Okay, let's do the next one. Is for we will take full height. So it will expand to take up remaining space in the Flask container. Here we will also create another component which is called flavor slider.gsx. Type REFCE, remove, readd import, and let's import flavor slider in here. Okay, so this is a flavor title. This is the tablet side. So colon direction is walking. Flavor title, flavor slider. Perfect. Let's go to the flavor title component. So in our flavor title, this is our main title container for the flavor section. Let's give some styling for it. We will add general title from our index.css that we define for much easier process. Okay, and call center. Call center is my own utility TailwindCss classes. Take a look. It is flash display flash and flash direction column and justify center item center. So everything is center in vertically. Okay. Let's take full height. Here you can already see things are changed. And let's add some responsive gap. For the larger screen, we will have gap-32, and for XL, we will have gap-2, for depth gap-24, and for the depth 4, we will get gap-16. Great. Remove flavor title. So in our flavor title component and in our main title container, we will have our h1, which is we have 6. The thing we are doing this effect, okay? We have 6 freaking delicious flavors. To see this, it is actually already the same as like this, but the thing different is this will not be position absolute anymore. Okay, as usual, we will wrap with a overflow hidden div for the h1 tag, and we will give some responsive padding py0, but for the mobile py is 3. Let's give a custom class name for our fast h1 tag. So this should be fast-test-split. Great. Let's do the clipping part. It is the same as the message section. You can also copy it, but I do encourage you to write with me together. Repetition is also important in our process of learning. Okay, so let's do a container for the clip path. As usual, we will have a style, and here we will include clip path, but for now just leave an emptied. For the class name, here would be flavor test scroll. Inside it, we will add a div for our h2. So h2 tag, which is called freaking. Let's give text-make. So our text got a make color. For the background, we will do bg-mid-brown. Let's give some heading bottom equal to 5. Let's give some padding top 0, but for mobile it's 3. Okay, and for the larger devices we will have px-5, but for the default is 3. Great, we got a really cool and good looking clip path moment. Let's do the last title. After that clip path div, we will have another div, and inside it is the h1 tag. The contact is delicious flavors. As usual, we will do the overflow hidden. Let's give some responsive padding. Py should be 0 at the larger devices, but for the mobile and tablet, we will get py-3. Let's give some custom class name. Second test split. Great. So this is the same idea as the first one. You can also copy the first one and change the name. Okay, it's also okay too. Fine. So we got our flavor title. Now our HTML part is done. So it's time for GSAP. We will use GSAP hook. And inside it, let's start by splitting the first line of text into individual characters. This way we can animate each letter separately for the slick reveal effect. It is similar as our main hero title animation effect. Okay, so let's do it. Constant first text split equal to split text from GSAP dot create, and the target should be first dash test dash split. Okay, let me copy it. We don't want to target this one, we want to target this h1. So like this, and the vars object type is chars. We want to animate the characters. Okay, that's why we are splitting by character. Same thing for the second message. So let me copy it and paste, change the name to the second text split. You can copy and change first into the second. Perfect. This one is also the characters animation. So let's do the type. It's chars. Let's animate the first text line. So GSAP, yeah, this time I won't catch it in. Yeah, this time let's import it correctly. GSAP.from, because right now we want to do a reveal animation. The target is first, not this one. First task split dot chars. In the vars object, we will write our animation instructions. Okay, let's animate the each character. Start 200% below its final position and give some quick stagger. Let's give some easing. As usual, I love power window in out. To be animated at the specific point, let's add scroll trigger. Trigger target should be flavor section. This is the main section of our flavor section. So we want to target this section. After that, let's give start value. The first top is top of the flavor section, and the second part is 30% from the viewport. To see what is happening, we have to give a markers equal to true. Okay, so let me save and refresh. You can see here the top is not hit, the target is not hit yet. There is no animation, but when we hit that, we got our animation. Great. Next, let's animate this middle freaking text reveal. It is the same one from our message section, so it will have similar process, but don't copy it, okay? We will do together. So let's do another GSAP.2. The target would be flavor text scroll. For the vars object, let's start with duration and clipart value. Go to the Clippy website, and this is our final position. Copy everything and paste it here. Don't forget to add %. We don't have defined our initial clipart point, right? So let's define it too. Go to the Clippy website. This will be our initial point. So let's copy it and paste it here. Great. Here you can see we already get our freaking animation, but we want also to play at some specific point. So let's add our scroll trigger. Trigger is dot flavor section as our title. For the starting, top of the flavor section and 10% from the viewport. So remove the marker from our previous animation and add it here. Save it and refresh it. Start point is top of the flavor section, and the scroller start point is 10% from the viewport. So we have 6 title animation, and then we have got our freaking clipart reveal animation. Great. Finally, let's animate the second line of text with the same approach. Create another GSAP from twin. This time target is second text split. We will animate each characters, so it is a chart. Same approach, Y% from 200. Stagger is 0.02, so it's happened really quickly. For the ease, let's have power window in out. We will add scroll trigger 2. Trigger target is our flavor section. For the start value is top of the flavor section and 1% from the viewport. Let's remove markers from our previous animation and add it here. Save it and refresh it. So let's start from here. We don't got nothing, but we get our title animation and freaking clipart reveal animation, and finally we've got our delicious flavors title animation popping like a wave. Okay, in this way we have got our scroll trigger animated titles. This is the end of our flavor title component. So next one, let's go to the exciting thing and the start of this section. So let's do the start of this section. Inside our flavor slider, we will have slider wrapper. This is the main wrapper of this whole slider. Okay, this wrapper holds the entire slider, and let's take a look what is slider wrapper have to offer. Is some height responsive, so LG HDVH, larger screen, we have our fixed height, but for mobile it's just only mobile and tablet, it's just only some minimal height DVH. Perfect. But for tablet we want to get a minimal height fixed, and with this full, finally we got some responsive margin top value. It's pretty simple. Okay, so inside our flavor wrapper, remove the flavor slider text, we will have a div called flavors. This div will contain each individual flavor as a slide. For now, instead of writing div, so instead of writing multiple div, we will create one div and loop it to get our whole slider. To do that, we have to have an array. Okay, Let's go to our constant folder and create a new file called index.js. For the data, go to our GitHub repository. You can also take this file from the README snippet from our GitHub repository. Okay. Also, don't forget to give stars to our GitHub repository. This means a lot and this helps us a lot. Thank you. Copy this one and paste in our index.js file. Here we get our flavor links. What does it have? So it has a name, it has color, and it has some rotation value. This is responsive rotation. So medium device like tablet, you will have -8 degree, but mobile, we just have no rotation at all. This kind of some preset rotation. Good. In our flavor slider, we want to import this flavor links and loop it. Each flavor, we are creating a unique slide. Okay, so the first, let's give a unique key. Use the flavor name as the unique React key. So for each flavor container, let's use some styling. Let's give position relative. The enter is 30 to make sure it is above everything. And for the responsive width, at the larger devices, we will have 50 VW. So it is a half of the width. But for the mobile devices, we will take 96. For the responsive height, at the larger devices, we will have 70 VH. It's kind of fixed one. And let's also give tablet responsive width. MD is 90 VW and tablet height should be 50 VH. The mobile should be 80. The important one in here is we have to give +-none to prevent shrinking and stretching on different devices. Good. Inside it, we will have different images and the h1 tag for the flavor name. Let's do our first image. First image is the background SVG. So let me show you what do we have. In our public/images folder, we have names like this: black-bg SVG, black drink, blue BG, brown BG, brown drink. So the only prefix things are changing. Colors. The back of the things are fixed. If we only change this color and fix at everything, we can get our dynamic background and dynamic images. Okay, so here, let's copy something. Maybe black copy, paste it here. But instead of static 1, we will do something like this. This is a backtick. We can write JavaScript things inside this backtick. Remove public folder. And here, instead of a static black, we will use our flavor.color. Okay, the image should appear in here, but I think flavor slider is not working. So let me re-import here. Remove everything. Add flavor, import flavor slider from /components/flavor slider. Perfect. Okay, I think I see what is happening. Yes. So we have to, this is, if we do something like this, we have to retain. So right now we don't retain anything, and I'm finding like why it is not working. We have to return like this, you see. Okay, but we can totally remove everything, that curly bracket thing, and you see, because there is only one div to return. This is a normal way. I mistakenly add curly bracket. So let's do not make things really complex and complicated anymore. Okay, so this is the responsive of that slider. Also in the original website, there is no slider happening in the tablet and mobile devices. Of course, I will focus on the laptop device to see the slider animation happening, but let me do my HTML first. Okay, perfect. Let's give a class name to our background images. To make sure things are still in the absolute bottom, let's add another image. For now, we will do a drink one. So go to the images, just copy one drink image and add it here. Remove public. Here, we will go with the same approach. Add a backtick for JavaScript. Instead of red, we will use our flavor.color. Great. You can see blue for blue drink and orange for orange drink. Perfect. You can also give alt, but let me skip here. For the class name, it's simple. It just drinks. So take a look what this drinks mean. Is a position absolute and position is left center, left 50% and minus translate transform from 50%. So it's typically in the center in the X direction. And everything is at the bottom 0, and our height is for the tablet is a full height, but for the mobile devices is a fixed height h.80. Okay, go back to our flavor slider and let's add one more images. This time it is for the floating elements. So go to the images folder and copy one image. Paste it here, remove public folder and do the similar process. Remove everything, add backtick, and instead of eggs, we will have flavor color. Great. Here you can see we can already see our cookie happening. So let's give a class name. It is called elements. And what is elements? Element is absolute, and for the responsive top is 0, bottom is auto, but for the mobile is bottom 10 and width is full. Okay, right now the only thing that we have to do is add a flavor title in here. Let's go to here. The last one will be h1 tag. The content should be flavor dot name. Great, it's peanut butter. Perfect. Right now we have to add our rotation value. Do you remember it? We have predefined rotation. At the top left, it should be rotated. The only thing there is no rotation is for the mobile devices. So let's add our rotation to each flavor div. We will remove everything here because we want to add a JavaScript. So backtick here and add everything back. But for the last one, we will add flavor rotation. Dun, dun, dun. You can see it here. Things are already pretty good, but there is no animation happening in the median or tablet devices. Let's check what do we get on the mobile devices. We refresh everything. You can see it. This is for the mobile devices. Every flavor card is stuck in a flat direction is column. So we will have some gap in here, and things are really organized as the original website is built. This is the mobile devices version, and this is a tablet version, and let's see what would be for the desktop version. Okay, this is not good. Splitting the section like this is not good. Let me show you in a full screen. So right now these are what we got. All of the other flavor cards are in here, and we will animate it with GSAP scroll trigger pinning effect. Okay, so let's go to the animation part. So let's do the animation part. But for the animation, we have to focus the laptop device, right? So I don't want to do the splitting anymore. Okay, so let's do it. As usual, we will import, use GSAP hook for the bridge, create a timeline, GSAP, import it, the timeline. Of course, it is a scroll trigger. The trigger target is our flavor section. You remember our main container flavor section. So paste it here, and starting value is 2% from the flavor section and topped from the viewport. We have to define an ending value here. Let's do around 500 px and see what will happen. Okay, of course, scrap will be true. That way we can make slider animation with scroll scene. Let's really play our animation. TL.2, the target is the flavor, section. So it will be the whole container. And the only thing that we have to animate is the X value. So let's have minus 500 PAs. So plus 500 PAs will be right side and minus 500 will be the left side. In our case, we want to animate to the left side. So it will be minus, okay, minus 500 PX. Of course, we will give some easing as usual, power1.inout. Go to our browser, refresh everything, remove these scroller markers because these are from the flavor title component. Go to our flavor title component and remove marker from here. And go back to our flavor slider here and add markers true in our GSAP timeline animation. Refresh everything. Right now, there won't be any animation yet, but when you hit this one, you can already see there is an X direction fake horizontal scroll sliding animation. Okay, but it is not really good at all right now because you can only see one cut, like a diagonally happening. The problem is, let me add more 1500 here, also 1500 here. So 1500 pixel. Now it will go to the left side for more 1500 pixel here, right? But this is 1500 here also. So how do we gonna define the right value? How do we gonna calculate the right value? We cannot set the fixed value. We have to calculate it manually, but there is a one way. It is a really a good way and it can save money. Let's see, scroll amount equal to slider ref. Oh, we haven't defined a slider ref value yet. So let's give a slider ref constant slider ref equal to use ref and add a ref slider ref in our slider wrapper container. Perfect. If we use ref, we have to do current scroll width minus window.inner width. What is happening? What are these values? Let me see. Scroll amount. Before everything, let's control lock this value first. Refresh everything and here. So it is the scroll value that we have to animate. And let's console log this one. This is the window inner width value. By subtracting from the slider current scroll width to window inner width, we can get our desired scroll amount. Okay. And here, instead of static value, let's give a backtick so that we can add JavaScript, okay? Plus equal scroll amount. It is a px. For our x direction value, also a backtick it is a minus value, and scroll amount px. Let's see what is happening in our browser. When you hit it, oh yeah, there are many scroll amount happening. Because the thing is, we have to pin the section in place during the scroll. Let's add a really magic GSAP feature, which is called pin property. When you set pin equal to true, see, this is really magic, okay? And this is a really popular feature that GSAP offer. When you click it, the container is pin. That flavor section is pin at this moment. Before end marker hit this scroller end, okay? So you can scroll it around here, scroll, and you see, do you see it? This is the end marker. And when you hit it, the pin value is released. So when you hit it, pin become false. The pin value is released and we go to the next section. But we have another one, a black flavor. We cannot get a black flavor because the flavor section scroll width calculate this one included also. The thing is, we have to plus 500 pixel to see our full slider. In here, plus 500 pixel, so that we can see at the end of it, okay? You refresh everything, and when you add a scroller start part, the slider thing is happening. Scroll, and it's not yet, but we see this and yes, now. So 500 is not enough. Let's give 1500. Refresh it and scroll, and perfect. When you hit yes. Okay, right now, I think you will notice that the scroll is not really smooth, right? But don't worry. We have our GSAP paid plugin, but now it's free. Thank you, Buffalo. It's called Scroll Smoother plugin. You see, when you scroll, it is not finished. You stop the scrolling, but the website is still moving because it uses Scroll Smoother plugin, and it is really amazing. So let's quickly use in our project too. Let's go to our app.gsa where we register the plugin. Besides scroll trigger, as see, we will add Scroll Smoother plugin. And with use effect, scroll smoother dot create is smooth. Value is 3 and effects is true. Let's see what changed in our browser. Refresh everything. And yeah, it's not working. Every scrolling feature is not working yet because we forgot one step. When you use Scroll Smoother, you have to add two things. The first thing is Scroll Smoother create part, and the second thing is HTML part. Go to the official website, and here we have already finished our quick start, but the next step we have to set up like this. So let's copy this to div and wrap it except navbar, because we don't need to do the scroll smoothing part for the navbar. Inside this div, everything will go to here. And instead of use effort, let's use GSAP. Remove use effort. All right, go back to the browser, refresh everything, and see how smoothly it is, right? Let's see how our slider will happen. Okay, you have to refresh. Ping, scroll, smoothie, and like a butter. Yes. Now we got our scroll smoother effect. Okay, I really love it. It is kind of addictive. Yeah, perfect. So the last thing that we have to add in this section is we have to make parallel title animation effect. In our website, we got this kind of parallel thing. You see, you can see it when you scroll it, all titles are moving in a different pace. Okay, so let's try to make this effect. It's really easy. Go to our flavor slider back and create a timeline for it. Let's call title timeline. GSAP.timeline, we will add scroll trigger. Trigger target is, of course, flavor section. Starting point is top. So top of the section and top of the viewport. Ending point is bottom of the section, but 80% from the viewport. Scrap is 2. Let's add our real animation. GSAP.2. The target is first text split. Title. This is from the flavor title, but we can do in here. Okay. So let's copy from our flavor title, which is called first text split. For the vase object, the animation instruction would be happen like this. X% minus 30. So it will slide it 30% to the left. The final one is easing. As usual, power 1 dot in out. The next one is our middle clip part reveal animation part. So go to our flavor title bar and copy flavor text scroll. The target is flavor text scroll and the animation is X% around minus 22. So this is a slightly different pace from the first text split. So the text will be slided 22% to the left. Here, we will use a position parameter. That means it will start this animation at the same time as the previous one. This animation will start at the same time as the previous one. This is what position parameters mean. If we do something like this, this will start at the end of the first animation play. Okay? But for this one, this will play at the same time as the first animation play. This is called position parameter. And if you do something like this, minus equals 0.5%, mean the animation will play 0.5 seconds before ending the first animation. In our cases, we want to happen at the same time as the first animation play. Okay, so let's do the final title parallax animation. You can copy first text plate, paste it here, replace with second. For the vase object, animation instruction is x 10%. X% minus 10. That means slide 10% to the left. I forgot to add easing in here. Great. Again, we will use that position parameter. So these two animations will overlap for each other for a smooth reveal. Let's see. Refresh it. And you can see it when you scroll. So if we don't do these overlapping position parameter, you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Because we have to wait to finish the animation one after another, right? So animation happen and second animation and that animation. We don't want this effect. We want to play overlapping. So we will use this GSAP another important position parameters. Let's see. Refresh everything and we got our desired little parallax effect. This is the end of this flavor slider section. In this section, we learned together about parallax and our fake slider horizontal animation with GSAP pin feature. Before that, let's remove these markers. Markers remove. Refresh completely and done. Now, there is one problem. In our laptop device, our animation is good, but in the tablet, there is only 2, and we don't want to play this slider animation anymore, right, in the tablet. So let's use our React responsive library and see how we can control this situation. Constant is tablet variable and use media query hook from the React responsive library. Inside it, the setting query is maximum width just 1024 pixel. That means it is a maximum width is only 1024 pixel. So that means laptop won't be anymore. So that maximum width is and at the tablet value. Okay. So this use media query hook to detect if we are on a tablet screen side. Something like this. So if it's not a tablet, so if it's not a mobile, if it's not a tablet, we will play our slider animation. Let's copy this slider animation part and paste it here. Save it and refresh everything. You can see only our title animation and parallax animation is playing, but for the slider, there is no animation anymore because of the help of use media query hook from the React responsive. This can save a lot. We don't have to do like window dot inner width, inner height, and much more imperative stuff. This way, this is a more React stuff. So it's a really nice one. Okay, right now our flavor slider section and flavor section is perfectly finished. Let's go to the next section. The next section is nothing crazy happening here. We will have our usual title and clip art part in our reveal paragraph animation and the nutrition box with a big image as a background. Of course, there is a dipping image as a div divider. Nothing crazy happened. So let's quickly build this one. Close everything. Go to the folder structure. Inside the section folder, we will have our nutrition section file. Close it. Type RAFCE. Remove React import. Go to app.gsa. Below flavor section, we will have our nutrition section. Here, you can see this is a nutrition section. Let's give some styling. Remove everything, replace with section, and the class name is nutrition section. Okay, things are already changing. Let's see what nutrition section does. In our index.css file is some responsive height, overflow hidden, and position relative. Okay. Inside our nutrition section, we will have the first image. It is a slider dip. You can see this is kind of a dip image. Go to our public folder, images folder, and scroll to the bottom. Copy slider dip PNG. Close the sidebar, paste it, remove the public folder. Give some classes with full object cover. You can see this is a slider dip. It's kind of catchy, right? After that, we will have another big image as a background. go to the image folder back and copy big image PNG. Oh, not rename. Copy. Close the sidebar and paste it here. Remove public folder. Normally it is like this. Let's give some styling. The custom class is big image. What this big image does in the CSS? So it takes width full, position absolute, and height full. But for the medium, it is like 2 of the third, and for the mobile is 50%. Left 0, bottom 0, object bottom to make sure it stays at the bottom of the container. And for the large devices, the object is contained, but normally is object is covered. Great. After 2 images added, we will have our main content container for everything that will be included in this session. Perfect. Let's give a display plus, and for the medium devices and more, we will get a row direction, but for the mobile, we will get a flash column direction. Justify is between in both direction, and let's give some responsive padding X. Mobile is padding 5, and margin top is 14 at mobile, but for the tablet and large devices, margin top is 0. This is our main content container. Inside it, we will have another div, which is position relative inline block. At the medium devices, it will shift a little bit lower to the bottom. So translate y-20. So on the median screen, the content will be pushed down for a little bit. This container is for our title and the clip art animation. So let's do the title one first. Let's do a wrapper for everything. In that wrapper, we will give our general title class, position relative, plus direction is column, justifying is center, item is center, and gap value is 24. Okay, inside it, we will have 2 things. The first thing is h1. The content is still text. The next thing is our clip art parts. Okay, as usual, for our h1 third, we will have an overflow hidden wrapper, and this time, please save start to make sure it is at the start of the container. Perfect. It's still text. The next thing is here, style style. As usual, we will leave with an empty value first, and then we will animate it with the GSAP. Okay, inside it we will have a div and h2 tag. H2 tag is bodyguard. You can already see, but let's give some color text. So text dash make but yellow like this. To give a background is bg dash yellow dash brown. This one. Of course, we will have our responsive padding. Mobile padding bottom 5, tablet padding top 0, mobile is padding top 3, and tablet padding x5, but mobile is only just 3, and it is an inline block. Perfect. So the only wrapper is nutrition test dash scroll, and we also have to give place self start for the nutrition test dash scroll, and it is not working. Okay, so let's take a look what is nutrition test scroll is doing. In our index.css, it is some rotate value, border and border color, test it no wrapped. Here opacity is 0. Okay, because I would like to get really fading effect, that one I give opacity 0, but you can let me do opacity 50 first so that we can see what is happening in here. Great. And then we have to do a paragraph and a nutrient box. So this is for the title block. We will have another block. The direction is plus. For the tablet is just to find center, but for both item center, and translate Y a little bit fine. And we will have our p tag. Let's copy that p tag from our Figma design. Here you can see you can copy and paste it here. We have already see what is happening, but we have to change the font family. Not Antonio, we have to use a Proxima. Okay, so let's give a parent div for that p tag text. The thing is we have to limit the maximum width. So max width exact for the medium devices and max width MD for the mobile devices. And for the p tag, we will go for it with text LG, so font size is a little bigger than the normal value. And for the medium devices, we will have text touch right, not center, and not start, so not left value. We want to make sure it is at the right. And text dash layer length, so that we won't get irregular shape. And then we have to give a font family as a font paragraph. Like this, we get our Proxima font family. Perfect. So after that block, we will have the last block for the nutrient box. So it is a custom class which is called nutrition box at the bottom of our section. Inside that nutrition box, we will have a parent div for all of the nutrients leaks wrapper. You can already see that there is a pill-shaped box at the bottom of our section. So inside this list wrapper, we will loop the list array. Okay, let me see to the index.js constant file, and here, which is called nutrient list. Nutrient list, import a nutrient list from the constant, and it will be index.js, right? But if the file name is index.js, you don't have to include that. Okay, so nutrient list dot map nutrient and index. Here don't include curly bracket. Let's start with a div. Okay, so here let's give some styling, but before that, let's use index as a unique key. For the styling, it's pretty simple. Position relative plus is 1, and inside it, we want to center in a vertically, so it is a colon center. Okay, there will be another div, p tag. The first one is nutrient dot label, potassium, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin D, and iron, etc. And the second p tag is up to. So this is not dynamic, it's a static one. And the third p tag is nutrient amount, around 245 mg, 500, 176, some numbers. But there is one thing, we have to include this border, some kind of divider between nutrients. So here we will use some JavaScript. If index is not equal nutrient list dot len -1, and we will add a spacer border. That means add a vertical divider. Add a vertical divider line unless it is the last item. This is the last item. Nutrient list dot len -1 is the last item. So if it's not the last item, please add a border. That's pretty simple. So let's give some styling to our p tag. The first p tag is okay. You only have to give some font size, but the thing is we have to change the font family. It should be font paragraph. The next one is also font paragraph, but with a smaller font size. Let's give some margin top to it. The last one is we don't have to change our font family because it is only the Antonio font, we only have to adjust the font size. Immediate is text for Excel. So this is for letter spacing. Tracking title is from the TailwindCss utility classes, and font is bold. So it is great in the tablet. Also, laptop is also cool. Let's see our mobile devices. It is too compressed, right? There is no space at all. So let's try to fix this. Of course, we will use a use media query hook from the React responsive library. Here, let's see, constant is mobile equal to use media query hook. Query should be mask width is only 768 pixels to check if the current screen is mobile size. Below 768 pixels should be considered as a mobile device. Okay, let's do next things. list leaks. Set leaks is you state. The default one and initial one is nutrient list. So we are using a state variable to hold the list of the nutrients to display. By default, it is set to the full nutrient list array. So by default, we will show all 5 nutrient lists in everywhere. But the device is mobile, we will only show to 3. To write this feature, we will use a use effect, and the dependency is mobile. So this effect runs every time the is mobile state changes. It updates the nutrient list based on whether we are mobile. So if, oh, what happened? Wait a minute. Sorry. Not like this. Yes. Sorry, it's my mistake. So in our curly bracket, if is mobile, we will set only the first 3 items for the cleaner view. So nutrient list dot slice 0 to 3. So from 0 for index number 0 to index number 3, just only 3 items. Else, so if it's not a mobile, we will show every list. So it shows the full list on the larger screen. That means if it's not a mobile. Replace our nutrient list with this list state. Let's go to our nutrient list. Replace these two with list state. Refresh everything and let's see. So yeah, this is not a mobile device, so we got a full list show. But if it is a mobile devices, we only get 3 nutrient lists. So our current use effect and slides is working. Perfect. Now let's go to the GSAP part. We will animate this title, clipart reveal animation, paragraph. This is the only main animation happening in this nutrition section. So let's animate it. We will import use GSAP hook. First, we will split our title using SplitText and create. The target is nutrition title. Okay, what is it? Nutrition title, this one. Let's give a nutrition title, class name, and paste it here. For the vars object, type is characters, so it is chars. Let's also split another one, the paragraph one. Constant paragraph split equal to split text dot create dot nutrition section dot font paragraph. So everything font paragraph is included. I also want to animate these values also. We can give something like this, okay? And if you want to animate everything, if that is a p tag, you can do, instead of font paragraph, you can do a p tag. Perfect. Let's go with this. For the vast object, things are as we have done before. The type is what's in lines, and we will have our line class, which is called paragraph line. Do you remember it? Paragraph line is the one that make overflow hidden on each line. Perfect. Let's start to write our animation. Create a timeline called content timeline. You can also give content TL, and GSAP, import the GSAP.timeline. We will have our scroll trigger. So trigger target is our nutrition section. Start value is top from the nutrition section and center from the viewport. To see these markers, we have to set the marker equal to true. Refresh everything, and this is our markers. Okay, so let's really animate our title. Content timeline dot from a reveal animation. So titles big dot chars. For the vast object, the animation instructions are like this. Y% is 100, so it's 100% from below. Let's give some stagger, a quickly one, and easing is power 2 dot out a little bit. Yeah, let's see here, and yes, you can see we will have another animation which is called from to animate paragraph spilled dot words. The animation instruction are not start from 300% below the initial point, and let's slightly rotate a little bit. For the easing, power 1 dot in out is good. Duration is 1%, and stagger value, I want to make sure it's happening really quickly. So stagger value is 0.01. There is no position overlapping value because I want to happen this animation after our headline animations finish. Perfect. Let's refresh everything and see this one happen. After that, this one happened. Good. So let's animate our clip art part also. Create another timeline for it. It is a title timeline and equal to GSAP.timeline. For the vast object is only scroll trigger. Trigger is our nutrition section, and start is top from the nutrition section and 80% from the viewport. Remove markers true from our previous animation and replace in here. Title timeline animation dot to. The thing that we want to animate is our nutrition text scroll. Let's copy it and paste it here. For the vast object, let's give a duration for 1 second, and opacity is 1 because I want to make a fading effect, right? And we will have a clip path value in here. Finally, we will have a ease for power 1 dot in out. So let's go to our index.css. Before that, copy nutrition text scroll here and find it. Right now, instead of opacity 0, we will completely do the opacity 0 instead of 50. Okay, let's go back to our Clippy website. I know that I can copy from our previous sections because the value is the same, but I want to make you guys understand this Clippy website really good enough. That's why I'm doing this repetitive work so that you can understand much better. Okay, so this is our initial position. Copy our initial position and paste it in our style clip part. To get the final part, we want to get a whole square reveal effect. So let's copy this value and place here. Okay, let's see. Refresh everything, and when you hit the start value, you can see when you hit it, it is happening. Yes. So everything is animated in this session, and this session is just only about it. So it's pretty simple, right? Maybe this one is too down into it. So let's try to change something. Nutrition title. Go to the nutrition title. py-3. Maybe if we set, so maybe pb-3 out of 5. Yeah, okay. And then in any other situation is pb-0. Also, the last 5 is pb-0. Yes, you can change as you want, but I think this is great for me. So let's quickly finish this project by removing marker true. Refresh. Perfect. Let's go for the next section. You can see how smooth and scroll-sync Dia's reveal animations are happening. Okay, let's do it. Close everything here, and in our sections, let's create benefic section.gsx. Type REFCE. Go to our app.gsx and we will add our benefic section. Great. Let's refresh everything. You can see there is a benefic section in the browser. Perfect. Close it. So as usual, we will start with the section tag. And a class name is benefic section. Pretty simple and straightforward. We already have some changes. So let's see what benefic sections mean in our index.css. We will have a minimal height deviation and some background, overflow hidden, position relative. That's it. Okay, we have predefined p tag and first title, second title, third title, full title. We will go for the next one. Okay, let's focus on these first. So this is the main section that will hold everything. Inside it, we will have a parent container for our highlight text. Let's use TailwindCss container, mx auto, padding top is 20. So it's pretty high in the top. Okay, and we will do another div, which will center everything vertically. Perfect. Inside it, let's start with a p tag. Okay, so for the p tag, you can go to our Figma and copy it. This p tag, perfect, and save it here. Let's remove these things. Okay, also let's add a break tag after the advantages. Perfect. As you can see, for the p tag, we have text make color, font paragraph for the font family, text center, and font size. So let's go to our main highlight titles animation. Of course, a div for everything that includes titles. Let's give a class name for it. So some margin top value and center everything in a vertical way. So margin top 20 and call dash center. This is a utility class. Okay, this is our own utility class called center. Perfect. Here, as you can see, we have 4 similar structure elements. As you can see, everything is similar. The structure is similar. Background, text, border color, and some rotation, right? So let's create a component for this. Okay, go to our folder structure, and in the component folder, let's create click path title component.gsx. Type refce, and in this component, we will accept 5 different props. The first one is title and color for the text color, and bg for the background color. Let's accept a class name for additional CSS class that we'll need for different styles. And the last one is border color. So we will accept these 5 prop. Okay, and here remove the clip path title, write a class name general title. Great. Before building this, let's import that clip path title in our benefit section. Inside this div, let's add a clip path title, and we will do for the title is chef stable. You can also copy from the Figma if you don't want to type, it's okay. And for the color, I think it's a mic version, this one. We will do the mic. And for the background, it should be C88 E64. Okay, this is a background color. And for the class name is first title. Perfect. And the last one that we will include is border color, which has 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Great. So this is a simple clip path title, and let's really create our component. Remove a react import. Inside it, the structure is pretty similar as our previous clip path div. So it is really the same, but let's not copy it. Let's build it out real. Okay. Inside, this will be for the style. You already know we do a clip path value in here, but this time we will also include a border color here. Great. Go to our section, and for the class name, remove a double quote, include a curly bracket so that we can write JavaScript things here. Class name, we will also include our custom class name that we give through the prop, and there will be some border dash my 5VW. It is the same. Text no rep. Okay, let's start with opacity 50, because we will also do the fade in fade out animation also. Okay, but for now, let's give 50 so that we can see what is happening. Let's do it 100 for now. And inside it, we will have a h2 tag. Perfect. So for the tag, we will use the title. So you can see it is a chef stable title that we give from our benefit session. Good. And for the class name, let's do some responsive padding in here. So pb-5 and pb-5, it is the same. So this is okay. And for the MD, PA-14, but for the mobile, it's just only PA-3. For the MD, padding top is 0, but for the mobile, padding top has to be 3. Perfect. In our H2 here, let's give a style, which will be our text color. Great. We also have to give a background in here. So after the class name, we will include a dynamic background color, and our prop is PG. Perfect. Let's really go to our section, and now you already see that we got a nice highlight titles. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to our benefit section and copy this clip path title component more. 1, 2, 3. Great. Oh, we got 4. Okay, so let's replace with a real value. The second one, protein plus caffeine, and a color code is 222123. So it's the above border color code. For the background, is a Mickey color. For the class name, it is a second title, and we got the same border color. Great. The third one is infinitely recyclable. For the color, is the same, but for the background, we got a new one, and class name is the third title. Perfect. You can already see things are changing, and we will go later to see which these class name are in our CSS. So let's finish this one's first. Okay, the last one is we got a title, we got our color, we got our background color, and the class name is full title. Perfect. And border color is the still same thing. So go to the index CSS, go to our benefit section here. There is nothing like crazy happening here. Some rotating value, position relative, and some set index, so that, and this one will stay above this one. That is the trick. Okay, so give a position relative and give the index 1 or 2 or something a bigger one than this below one, so it will create a overlapping effect. Okay, second title, we will have some translate value and rotation. So for the third title, of course, rotation value, translating value, position relative, and z index to stay above than these two things. Okay, full title is also pretty the same. Rotation and translation. That's it. We got a pretty clean one. We don't have to do these in our benefit session. We only have to use a reusable component over again, and over again. Perfect. So let's animate these highlight titles with our GSAP. Okay, it's pretty similar that we have already got in this and in this. It is pretty similar clip art reveal animation, but let's see. Before the animation, we have to include a final P tag, a final message in this section. Okay, so we will go after this div. This div is for these 4 highlight titles. So let's create another div for it. So for the styling, it just only need to do a sum margin top responsive value. So for the median divisor, what happened? So for the median divisors, margin top is 0. But for the mobile devices, let's give a margin top is 10. Inside it, a final node call and march more with ... So march more with 3 dots. Perfect. Let's go for the animation. So let's animate our clip art title. Before that, remove this React import in here. As usual, we will import our use GSAP hook for the GSAP animations. Let's create a timeline for it. Let's call it reveal timeline. Import GSAP and timeline. So for the vars object, this time we will give some delay. So delay 1 second, and we will add a scroll trigger. Our trigger target should be this whole benefit section. Copy it and paste it. For the starting value, we will do top of the benefit section and 60% from the viewport. Okay, let's give an end value. It's top of the benefit section and top of the viewport. Perfect. Let's give scrap is to true, but instead of true, we will give 1.5 to create more smoothly version. Perfect. And finally, let's give markers true to see what is happening in our application. Great. Let's really start our animation with reveal title .2, and the target is first title of our benefit session. Okay, so the select should be like this: benefit session dot first title. Great. For the vars object, let's give a duration 1 second. Do you remember we give opacity 100 in our clip art title? Because we want to animate like this. So go to our clip art title, and instead of opacity 100, our starting value should be opacity 0. And we will animate to the 1. Great. The next one is our clip art value. Let's see our animation back. So it reveals from the center, right? So go to the Clippy website, and as usual, this is our starting point. It should be something like this. Right now is completely closed. Copy this polygon clip art value from the website and go to our clipper title component. Here, paste it. Instead of 49, 48, this kind of value, let's give a 50%. So right now, things are completely closed at the center. And then we would like to open, make a reveal animation as we have done before in our previous sections, right? Let's go back to our Clippy website and open these to get a full scroll. And copy this polygon value and paste it here. Don't forget to add % here. Great. And the last one is our ease. So this time, instead of power1.inout, let's use cyc.out to get a smooth circular easing for a natural expansion effect. Let's say everything and refresh our browser. Great. So when you hit a start, you get a slowly expansion effect that is crossing, because there is only one animation in our entire timeline. So let's add more animation to it, right? More twin. It should be 4 twins because we have 4 highlight titles, right? So paste it into another 3 more twins. Perfect. And instead of fast, let's go for the second and third and full. F-O-U-R-T-H, full. Great. We don't have to change anything. So let's refresh everything in here. When you hit start, you can see that things are appear one by one with a smooth and fancy effect. Yeah, that's it. You don't have to do anything. You make one twin and copy it. That's it. Perfect. So our entire highlight titles animation is finished. Let's go to the next big part, video pinning part. Okay. This time we will go for this video pinning effect that almost every award level website use. And at the end of this tutorial, you will see how easy to create this award-worthy website animation. Yes, great. So let's go back to our project. And in our benefic section, we got this div for the highlight titles, and we got this div for everything related to the first part. Great. And we will include another div for our video pinning animation. So for this one, we have to give a position relative and overlay dashboard class, and inside it we will include our video pinning part, but let's create a component for it for a really much simpler version. Okay, so let's create a video pin section component. Inside our component folder, create a file which is called video pin section.gsx. Type RAFCE. As usual, remove import react part. Good. So let's add this video pin section in our benefic section. Perfect. And remove markers through. As you can see, we already get our video pin section in here. Perfect. Okay, so let's really start to create our video pin section component. Here, instead of div tag, we will use a section tag. This is a main section that will host everything that is related to the video pinning area. Okay, let's give a class name for this section, which is called vpin section. And inside it, we will have a parent div for everything. Class name is size full, and we will include another class name which is called video box. Great. And for the styling here, we will give some style. So before creating this effect, let me give you some time to think about this revealing effect. Which technique do we gonna use? Have you think about it? Okay, so the answer is we will use a clip path value. We have already used many clip art animations in this website. Also, we will use another clip art reveal animation. In our case, we will do a circular revealing effect using a clip art, right? So I can already set that this website use a lot of clip art, and clip art are amazing. Yes, if you know how to use clip art using a clippy website, your website has gone to another level, next level. Perfect. So let's go back to our component. And so for right now, let's give empty for the style, and later on we will replace with the clip art value in here. Okay, let's add a video tag. So for the XRC, the video is in the public folder. Now this is what we got, pin video.mp4. Okay, paste it here and remove a public folder. You can already see we got our video, but let's add more attributes: place, inline, muted, loop, and the last one is autoplay for a seamless effect. Great, you can refresh it and videos are autoplay and it is kind of looping, right? So the thing is, we cannot get with just only one video. As you can see in the original website, there is a video and there is a circular text that is rotating and with a play pattern, right? So let's include this also. After a video tag, create a div for these two things. For the styling, let's give app center. This is our custom utility class that centers everything which has position absolute. Perfect. Let's give some responsive scale. For the medium devices, scale is default 1, but for the mobile, let's scale it into 2. So for the Tailwind is scale 200. Perfect. And let's add our circular text. Okay, so go to our images. It should be in the cycle text.svg. Copy it, close the sidebar, and paste in here. Remove public folder. You can give alt if you want. So for the class name, let's do spin cycle. Okay, so before everything, let's go to our index.css and check it out what these classes that we got. You can already see we have got a spinning circular text effect, right? Okay, so for the video pin section, we will get 110 height in the tablets or iPads or laptops and much more larger devices. But for the mobile, we have a fixed 100 dVh high, and of course it is overflow hidden to not having like scroll bursts or something. And we got some responsive translate y value and some responsive margin top values. For the video tag, it is a size full mean with 100% and height 100%. Position is absolute, index 0 mean top 0, left 0, right 0, bottom 0, everything 0. You can use insert 0. Object cover, so object fit is cover. Okay, so image first of type is the first image. So the first image we will get size 15 VW. This is our first image. The only thing that is left is play button, which will be our next thing. Great. Below our image, we will have another image with a div. Rabbit. Okay, for this one, let's give play btn. Inside it, we will have an image. Let's copy this one, paste it here. Instead of cycle task, this time we have a play svg. For the class name, size is 3 VW. So the size is relative to viewport width or responsiveness. And let's give margin left 0.5 VW. It is also the same. Perfect. So we got our video ping HTML structure, and then we will combine with GSAP animation to see how this thing will happen. Finally, let's do this video reveal animation together. Of course, you have probably seen this effect on a lot of those awards-winning websites. Now we are going to build that same effect. But don't worry, I will walk you through the simplest version ever so you can see exactly how it works. Alright, so let's go to the video ping section component. As usual, we will use GSAP hook, and inside it, let's create a timeline for this GSAP.timeline, and in our vars object, we will create a score trigger. The trigger target here is video ping section, so our video pinning section itself, and starting value is minus 15%, and from the top of the viewport. So which is minus 15% means? Minus 15% means the animation start 15% above the top of the section hits the top of the viewport. And if we do 15% is the animation start 15% from the top of the section hits. Okay, it's not the same. 15% is from the top to below, but minus 15% is from the top to above. Alright, let's give an end here. For the end value, we will give 200%. So that means 200 viewport height, okay? And the next value is top of the viewport. Great. For the scrapping, let's also give 1.5 here. And let's give markers equal to true. Great. The secret is just only one property, which is called ping equal to true. That's just only one property, and this is the secret sauce of our animations. Ping true means it will ping the section in place while the animation plays to create a dramatic effect. Let's see. So let's really animate our timeline. TL.2, and we will animate this video box. For the vars object, we will animate a clip art value. For now, let's give an empty. And for the easing, let's use a usual one. So power1.inout to create smooth easing for natural motion. So let's animate the clip art. Go to our clipping website, and you can already see this is a cycle option in here. This is the one that we want to animate like a cycle. So at first, our things will be something like this. You can copy this value, and here in our empty clip art style, clip art this value. Right now, our initial start is something like this. Not 0.5 is completely invisible at 0. Of course, if you want to get a full cycle, you have to animate the first one. So here, instead of 0, we will get 100%. Let's refresh everything, and when you click start, you get expanding video pinning animation effect. You can see how really easy it is. So it will go to nothing, and then it will expanding again. Yes. Okay, that's great. But instead of 0%, instead of completely invisible, our initial value is something like this. So let's replace 0 into 6%. Refresh everything, and you can already see here. We can see something because our clip art starting point is 6% reveal, and then reveal into 100% while painting the video box. That's easy, right? Great. Let's do a responsive things in here. So here we will do this pinning animation on the tablet, on the medium devices, and on the larger devices. But for the mobile devices, we don't want to do this complicated animation. The original website also removed this animation for the mobile devices, so let's remove this animation for the mobile, and we will replace just a simple video box. All right, so at the top of everything, let's create a isMobile variable. As usual, we will use a useMediaQuery hook from the React responsive. And here in a query, we will include a mask width value. Mask width 768 pixel. So this is a isMobile variable. We are using a media query hook to check if the screen is mobile size. So mobile size means less than 768 pixel. And if it is a mobile, we will skip this animation. Okay, so let's select whole timeline and timeline animation, cut it, and include the if condition. If it's not mobile, we will play this animation, but if it's mobile, we don't play this animation. Let's check it. What will happen in our mobile devices? In the mobile devices, okay, highlighted animations are working perfectly, but for now, we got this because there is no animation on the mobile devices. So we have to change our clipart value also. Okay, so instead of getting this a static one, we will do a conditional rendering on our styling. Let's see, in the clipart, if it is a mobile, do something. If it's not a mobile, do something. So if it's not a mobile, we got a default one, but if it is a mobile, we don't do any cutting. So it's just complete visible, 100% like this. Perfect. Reload, headline, animations, highlight titles, animations working perfectly, and then we got our video box in 100% clipart value. So we don't cut anything. Great. So we got a responsive video pinning animation. Let's go another exciting section. Let's do this cool double pinning layout animation. And you got a parallel effect that is happening in the background and this amazing cut stacking. Also, it is a pinning, so it is a double pinning component. And when you hover the card, the videos are playing. And when you hover another card, another video is playing. When you mouse leave, the video pause at that moment. Great. Let's do that amazing section. Close everything and go to our folder structure and close everything. In our src and section folder, we will create another section, which is called testimonial section. And type RAFCE, remove React import, and as usual, let's start with the section tag. For the class name, we will give testimonial section. It got X. Okay, so let's see testimonial section in our CSS. What does it work? It got a BGMA color, position relative, width full, but for the height, we got 128 dvh. So let's import our testimonial section to the app.jsx. After the benefit section, we will add testimonial section. Great. But here, let's do one more thing. Okay, in the original website, you can also see that this video is covered by the testimonial section, right? So it's kind of happening like a overlapping effect. Testimonial section is overlap to this one. To create this effect, we have to do div like this. So this is a benefit section, and after this video is played, this will be our testimonial section. Right now, things are not happening in a proper way, but we will see what will happen and which things we are gonna fix in the next testimonial section part. All right, let's go to the testimonial section, and inside our section chart, create a div for the title stuff. You know, for the background, parallax, things happening, these titles effect. Let's do h1 and what's. For the class name, we will give absolute, size full stand for width full, height full from the Tailwind utility class, and let's give flux, but flux direction is column. Just only give item center. We don't want justifying center. Just only give item center. The final thing is padding top. This time we will give 5 BW for the responsive. Great. And for our first h1 tag, let's give a test-black. Here you can already see this is our h1 tag, and we got some color. And of course, we will give a custom class which is called fast title, so that we can animate these custom class name. Great. Let's copy this h1 tag and paste it into another tool. Here, instead of words, we will get everyone, and the last one is talking. So these what's and talking are black color, but the middle one is test dash light dash brown. So this is kind of like brown color. Okay, so we got first title and second title and third title. Great. So let's go to our index.css, and you can already see things are already predefined for the h1 tag. So let's see what is happening. So it is an uppercase and some font size, line height, letter spacing, margin left value, and finally font bold. Yeah, it's pretty simple. They are just basic CSS. Okay, let's go back to testimonial section, and after that we will have our pin box, which is for the testimonial cards. So let's give a class name pin box. Go to index.css. You can already see we have pin box class, which is plus item center, justifying center, so it is a horizontally center, and width full, padding start as known as padding left is 52, absolute, and some responsive bottom value. Great. In our pin box, we will show our testimonial cards. I think it should be around like 7 or 6 cards. Okay, do you remember our flavor section? In our flavor section, we have flavor slider, and so here, instead of giving 6 div, we use a flavor list array and loop through it to render these 6 div, right? So in this section, we will do that same approach. Let's remove everything. Okay, so to write JavaScript things, we have to call the curly brackets. And as you can see, we have cuts array in our constant.js. And we will go through with the map, and we will get each cut, also index, and here create a div for it. Perfect. Go to this one and this one. Oh, you can already see what's happening, right? Okay, so let's go to the constant folder index.js file, and we have cats array. It's pretty simple. We have the source and some custom rotation, some custom translation, different images, and different names. Great. Here, our parent card is. Remove everything. We have to include some dynamic things. The first one is BD card. You can also see in the index.css, this is a BD card class, which is some responsive width plus none to prevent shrink and stretch. I will show you. So this is some rounded border radius, different values, and margin start, overflow hidden, position relative. But for the mobile, let's give position absolute, and I will show you why. Okay, some border width and border color. So let's go. Here we will include 2 things. The first one is card translation, and the second one is card rotation. Great. Inside this parent div. Oh, don't forget to add a unique key. Here, in this case, we will use just index. Okay, inside this div, we will only one thing that will be included is video. So for the src, remove a double quote, and we will add our cat src, and play is in line, muted, loop. Yeah, but we don't do autoplay in here. Do you remember that when we hover on each card, the video plays, and when the mouse leaves, the video pause? That's why we don't do autoplay attribute true in here. Perfect. Let's give some styling. So class name and size is full. So width 100%, height 100%, width full, height full. Object fit is cover. Perfect. All right. You can already see what is happening in here. Yeah. Let's play these videos. So the thing is, when the mouse move, so when the mouse enter on this card, video will play, and when the mouse leave, the video pause. To make this happen, we have to use on mouse enter, and we will call a function which is called handle play, and we will give index parameter to that function. Let's create a handle play function in here. Constant handle play equal to that will accept index argument, and let's do with arrow function. Okay, so in React we have another advantage which is called ref. For this, if we don't have to go for the complicated way, you don't have to go for manual selecting, manual figuring out which video we are hovering for, right? We have a ref. So constant bd ref equal to use ref hook from the React. Here, instead of just value null, we are using a ref array to keep track of each video element in the testimonial card. So this let us play pause down when hovering over each card. This is the simplest way. So let's give a video ref to our video tag. Ref, and here el that will return video ref dot current, and array is index equal el. This is the way that we using a ref to directly access and control the video element. Okay, this is the way that we use ref array. Okay, so on mouse enter we got handle play, and on mouse leave we got handle pause, and as usual we will give an index parameter to it. So let's really start to write these two functions, handle play and handle pause. Go to our handle play function, constant video equal to bdref dot current, and in the array we got index. Let's console log out this fast video. Perfect. Refresh everything. We have to remove these marker. I think it should be in the benefit section. Oh no, it is in the video ping section. Markers true. Remove this one. Great. Refresh everything and we got nothing. Okay, and let's go to our testimonial card section. Yes, play this animation. When you hover it, you got this one. Yeah, handle pause is not defined. We have to define handle pause, but let's focus on this handle play. Okay, remove everything. Let's this one. So we got F6. You can already see this one, F7. This one, F5. Do you see that? So we got different video cards that is related that we hover over. We got F6, F7, F6, F5, F3. Perfect. To remove these, let's define our handle pause function. Great. It is the same thing. Remove everything and remove everything. When you hover, we got F6, and when you out, hover, out, hover, out. Things are pretty simple. And we got our video. We only have to do a play method. Similar, we have to do the pause method. Let's see. Refresh everything, remove things out, and hover, video play. Out, video pause. Hover, video play, and out, video pause. Right now, you can't really see clearly, so maybe let's do things like this. Yeah, it's pretty the same. Maybe remove this one. It's the same thing. Okay, I think we have to do a complete full screen version. Let's go for it now. Let's start for the animation part. All right, you can do in here, but let's choose this place for our animation. Use GSAP hook. So here, let's start with the initial setup. GSAP, don't forget to import and set method. The target is our testimonial section, and I want to set the margin top value to -140 VH. What does that mean? Let's see. Here, do you see this gap? And in the original website, do you remember that this testimonial card session is covering on the video pinning section? This is what margin top work. So let's go back to our project and refresh everything, and you can see that we have already got our covering layer effect. So by defining the initial value with gsap.set method, the margin top value of this is -140 VH. It creates a covering effect like this, and we will pin this session when we arrive this, and our cards are stacking and our titles are doing is parallel things in the background. Yeah, so let's continue on our GSAP animation. As usual, we will create a timeline for our title first. So let's create a timeline in GSAP timeline. In the vars object, let's go for the scroll trigger. So for the trigger target is the testimonial section itself. Yes, mostly itself. So the next value is the start point. It's pretty simple. The top of the testimonial section and the bottom of the viewport. So the animation will start when the top of the session reaches the bottom of the viewport. Right. So here we will also define ending value. So it's 200% and top. So the animation will end when we have scrolled 200% of the session's height. We'll have to set true to our scrapping property. So it ties the animation progress to the scroll position for smooth motion. We have already done before many times. So let's really create our timeline animation. TL.to method. And our target is first title of the testimonial section. Do you remember our benefit section? It also has first title, second title, and third title, fourth title. If we don't do that, we have to give a very, very specific title, something like first title of testimonial section. It's pretty long, right? So yeah, this is really easier. First title of the testimonial section. We can select like this. For the vars object, it's simple, x% 70. Yeah, so when the animation happens, the first title will move 70% to the right. Positive value is to the right and negative value is to the left. So remove this semicolon and copy this to twin and paste it 2 more times, because we have 3 titles: first title, second title, and third title. Great. Let's change our x% value. For the second title, I will go for 25%, and for the third title, let's go to the left. So give negative value 50%. That means move the third title 50% to the left for an alternating motion. Let's see. Oh, don't forget to give markers true to see what is happening and where they start and end point. Got it? Refresh everything. You can already see things are happening. When you click start value, the first title goes 70% and the second title is only just like 25%. But we don't got it because we have to wait one animation end and second animation play and third animations. We have to wait one by one. To prevent this situation, we have already done before. We have to use a overlap position parameters like this. Let's use in here again. Let's see. Refresh everything in here, and when you started, things are gonna moving simultaneously. Okay, so that's a secret, right? Overlapping parameters. If this parameter does not exist, we have to manually calculate our delay effort, our duration, this time, right? We have to manually calculate these duration and delay. But with just only this overlapping parameters, GSAP knows these animations will happen simultaneously. Great, we got our parallel effect title animation. So let's go for this painting video card animation. Right, here let's create another timeline. So for this one, I will call ping tail. So GSAP.timeline, and in the vars object, let's go for this code trigger. The trigger target is, as usual, it is a testimonial section. So let's remove this marker from our previous timeline because this time we would like to animate this card, not the title itself. So remove the marker in our previous animation. For the starting value is 10% from the section, 10% from the top of the session and top of the viewport. So the animation will start slightly after the session enters the viewport. Okay, let's also give an end value. It is the same, 200% top. So 200% from the top of the testimonial section, and it will end the top of the viewport. Great. Let's give scrap. This time, instead of true, we will give a 1.5 for much smoother scrapping effect. And our secret sauce is pin is to true. Yes. Don't forget to give markers to true. You can already see it is pinning. You can already see that, right? When this start hit, the scroller start. So this 10% from the testimonial section hit the top of the viewport. Our painting animation is happening. Let's really write our pin tail animation. This time we want to animate the initial value. So let's go with from. The target is video card. So that video card here, this video card. Right. And for the vars object, y% is 150. So I would like to go this video card appear from 150% from its original position. So it will go from this bottom, right? Bottom 150%. Let's give some stagger. It's 0.2. It's some kind of like nice flowing effect. To get this one, we will use our usual ease, power1.inout. Let's see what do we got. Refresh everything. Don't forget to refresh because we have code trigger things. Okay, when you hit scroller start, things will appear from 150% from original Y position. So it will appear from the bottom. 1, 2, and each things have stack of value is 0.2. So our video cards are popping like a really nice flowing, right? All right, so currently right now every cut is stacked into one position. Why is this happening? Let's go to our index.css. Here you can already see we have this thing. If the device is 2XL, so it is a larger device, we will start with position relative. But if it's not, so some small laptop or some tablets, iPad, and mobile devices, the position is absolute. Let's change this 2XL into the MD. You can already see that this is what position relative means. But as you can see, it is not good. Yeah, not responsive. And we cannot also make like smaller video or something. So let's give 2XL. The original website is also like this. Perfect. So we got this one. This stacking moment when the device is not a large device. Let's see what is happening on the large device. Here, when you hit the pinning point, you got a nicely stacking card effect. So this is a card stacking effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, everything is going with the scroll thing. Great. Hey. So this is our final piece of the website. Although this is pretty easy and simple, let's finish this project perfectly. Okay, let's go to our VS Code. Remove everything and go to our section folder, create footer section GSAP. Close this one, type RAFCE, remove react import, go to the app.gsa. Now remove this fake spacer and let's add our footer section. Yeah, this is our final piece. So let's do it quickly. In our footer section, as usual, we will replace with a section tag, and for the class name, so it's called footer session. Let's see what is happening footer session in our index.css. Okay, so for the larger devices, it's minimal height DVH and overflow hidden, position relative, and some black background. Great. So let's start with an image. It is kind of a dipping image for the footer section. We already used one dipping image in our nutrition session. For now, this is for the footer dip. So in our public folder and in our images, here we go. This is a footer dip PNG. Close this one and paste it here. For some styling, is width full and object is cover a little bit, translate y 1. Great. And let's refresh. You can see this is a footer dip PNG. Yeah, it's really visual appealing and to make you hungry. Okay, so let's go for another div. So this will be a red bar for everything that will be included. Video, and our email, our highlight, many stuff. Let's go for it. For the styling, so we will have H110 DVH for the larger devices, and position is relative. Let's do some responsive padding top value 20 VH. Mobile devices just 10 VH. Great. Inside this div, let's start with our title. As usual, we will have H1 tag that is wrapped by the div, and there we have our overflow hidden. So this one is set index 10. Okay, so this H1 tag is let's copy this H1, paste it here. For the styling, As usual, we will give a general title. Test align its center, so test dash center, and we will get a mic color. Let's give some padding wine, padding bottom also. Padding wine is 5. Okay, here you can already see we got this one, right? We have already got our H1 tag. And after that, we will get a video. Okay, so this is a video tag. Inside it, we will have our src and autoplay. Play is in line, muted, but not loop. I will show you why. For class name is absolute top 0, object contain, not cover here, object contain. I would like to go for like mix blend lighten. So this is a mix blend mode, and the mode is lighten. For the video, close image folder and open the video folder, which is called splash. Close the sidebar, paste it here, remove public. Yes, you can already see we got our splash video. Because it's a position absolute, it doesn't have a relative height. Okay, so after this video, we will create another div for our social media contact, and in here we will include 3 div. You can type like this, and inside each div we will have an image. And for the image wrapper, we can do -btn. Let's copy everything. Okay, let's remove these string. The first one correctly, and then copy and paste into 2 more is much easier and faster than our first technique. For the wrapper, is pretty obvious because you will do a flag center, and gapping is 5, position is relative, the index is 10. Finally, we will give some margin top responsive value. For the median devices, let's give margin top 20, but for the mobile devices, let's give margin top 5. For the images, go to the images folder, and the first one is yt.svg, that means YouTube. Copy our div and paste it. Social BTN is the same class, but we will have a different images. The second one is insta.svg, and the dark one is TikTok. Let's see, what do we got? So it's in here. Yeah, you can already see this is here. If you want to see what is really happening, I think you can give for the photo session, let's give minimal height is deviate. Yeah, so you do get like this. Perfect. But don't forget to remove these things after everything is finished. After this social media div, let's do another div that will hold our content. So some links and a form that can write your email. So let's create a parent div. Margin top is 40. We will give some responsive padding x. Move one device, padding x is 5. Plus gap 10. But in the median devices, the direction should be rule, but for other devices, the direction should be colon, so first dash colon. Let's give justify between, and the color is test dash mic. Perfect. We have to give a font family paragraph, font dash paragraph. The font size is in the median and larger devices, we will use test dash LG. The final thing is font dash medium. That's why I give a predefined CSS for these kind of basic stuff, because as you can see, we have to type many things, and these are just pretty basic stuff, and you guys are also bored in this stuff, right? But this is a final section, so let's write it. Inside our div, we will have another div. This thing is for the links. Okay, so let's do flash item center responsive gap. The median is gap 16, mobile devices is gap 5. inside that div, we will have this symbol links. So after this one, let's create another div. Let's give some mass-with-lg, and inside it, we will get a p tag, get exclusive early access, blah 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 blah, and below that we will have our font, something like this. Okay, here you can see this is just a fake font. Yeah, if you want to do, you can also watch our previous video using email.js, but I don't think email.js will be necessary for this one. Yeah, let's do a fake font. So it's pretty simple. Plus, just define between item center, and let's give border B, so border bottom, and let's give a border color, some padding Y value, and margin top. This is a margin top 10. Yeah. So this is an icon. This is an import. Icon is arrow SVG, and import type is email. There is only one thing to do left, which is for the copyright. Let's do it. After a long div, we will have another div that will include our copyright. So this is a final rule, and you can already see that this is some copyright blah 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 and privacy policy, terms of service. Yeah, that's it. That's all. You can also check our footer section index.css. Copyright bounds is position absolute and some bottom value, and inside it the p-tab will be test-center. So this is for the import CSS. Great. Let's do one more thing. Okay, right now in the media devices, so kind of tablet and iPad, we got our video, but I want to get image, just a static image for the mobile devices. The last create is mobile. Use media query hook. Let's copy it from our other sections. I think it should be in the benefit video ping. Yeah, here. Copy it and paste it in our footer section. So if it is a mobile, we will show a static image, not a video. Here, if it's a mobile, we will show a static image. If it's not a mobile, we will show our video stuff. Here, let's add an image tag. Yeah. The src is, let's go to our images folder, and the file name is folder drink. Yeah, folder drink.png. Copy it, close it, paste it here, remove public, and let's give some styling. It is position absolute, top is 0, and object is contained. That's it. So if you refresh and your device, if the device is in the mobile, let's refresh everything, and we got this one. So to remove these, do you remember we set our minimal height deviation? Yeah, for a better debugging, but now remove for it. Now we got the exact footer with an exact height, no extra height. Perfect. Do you remember in our final version, the hero session got a video playing, but for our website, it just only static. Yeah, we only have to finish this one. After this, website is completely finished. So let's quickly replace our video. Go to the hero section, and here, let's create two things. The first one is mobile. Of course, let me copy it from our video section and paste it here. And the second one is tablet. Yes. So use media query hook for our query. This time is the mass width is 1024 pixel. We got two things, is mobile and is tablet. Let's replace our video. So this one, instead of getting a static image, remove this one. Let's start with its tablet version. If it's tablet, we will do something. If it's not tablet, we will do something. So let's start with if it's not tablet. We will get a video tag, but if it's target, we will get an image tag. Perfect. For the video src, go to our video folder, and you can see there is the name hero bg.mp4. Close this one and put it here. Remove public footer. Let's give some styling. Position is absolute. Inset 0, that means top, left, bottom, right, everything is 0. Width is full, height is full. You can also do size full. Object is cover. Perfect. And we have to do auto play is true, and muted play is inline. Yeah, for our tablet, because this is a tablet version, we have to include our static image. For the tablet version, we have to do another conditional rendering, which is called add a react fragment. So inside A, we will include another condition, which is called is mobile. If it is mobile, we will show this image. That's it. If it's not a mobile, we will show this image here. So there is no error at all. Right now, this is a tablet, so it is not a mobile. So we will show this one. SRC. Go to our image, and here you can see hero image PNG. Copy it and paste it here. Remove public footer. Let's give some styling. Of course, position absolute, but this time we have to give bottom 0. You see? And let's place it center. So left is 50%. So if you do left 50%, things gonna happen like this, because this is push 50% to the left. But we can do something like this. Translate x dash half. So translate by pushing back 50% from the translate x, we got perfectly center version. For the object fit is auto. OBJE-CT-AUTO auto. That's it. So this is our tablet version. But for the mobile version, let's go back to our images folder and take hero BG PNG. Remove public folder. Of course, we have to give some styling. Position is absolute. From the bottom 40. Size is full. Object fit is cover. Let's see what do we got in our mobile devices. Yeah, this is, you can see the blurry image. And when you are on the tablet, you get this 2 bottles image. And when you are on the laptop, on the larger devices, you got this full video playing. Perfect. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody. The course is finally finished. If you like the journey so far, don't forget to give like, subscribe, and drop a comment what you want to build next. Also, if you have encountered some errors or issues or some difficulties, please join our Discord server. We can help you there. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.